Many of the traits that make Amazon unusual are now deeply ingrained in the culture.
The journey of success is an incredibly long and grueling journey. So many people just decide to not even try to become successful and don't even try to attempt their dreams. They think it's too hard and too much of an uphill battle. And others will try, but they give up too easily and too quickly, all because they're not focused on the right thing. They listen to the people who tell them what they can and can't do, and to the ones who are telling them what they're doing is impossible. You need to be one of the few people who actually says they're going to go out and achieve their goals and then backs it up with action. They put the effort in, they put the time in, they put the focus and the mentality of a champion into wanting to become successful. Because when it comes to being successful, the ones who are always excited and wanting to do more are the ones who do get excited and the ones who do go out and do more.
And the people, I work with these people who, they're missionaries for what they do.
You're going to be more excited about doing something, so you might as well do something and progress your life and work on your goals whenever you get a chance, because you should want to be able to work on your goals every day. So that way, when you become successful, you get to look back and discover how much that work paid off for you, because you were grinding nonstop and focused and always doing whatever you need to become successful, and then you turn out to become successful. There's no coincidence about that, because the ones that are champions and successful are the ones that truly give an effort.
He said you're going to figure out one day that it's harder to be kind than clever. It's incredibly hard to get people to take bold bets, and you need to encourage that. And if you're going to take bold bets, they're going to be experiments, and if they're experiments, you don't know ahead of time whether they're going to work. Experiments are, by their very nature, prone to failure, but big successes, a few big successes, compensate for dozens and dozens of things that didn't work. So, bold bets, AWS, Kindle, Amazon Prime, our third-party seller business, all of those things are examples of bold bets that did work, and they pay for a lot of experiments. I work hard at helping to maintain the culture, a culture of high standards, of operational excellence, of inventiveness, of willingness to fail, willingness to make bold experiments. I'm the counterbalance to the institutional no who can say yes. Friction, if you want to do more of something, make the friction less. If you want to do less of something, make the friction more. If there's a particular snack food that you like a lot and it's making you fat, put it on the top shelf where it's harder to get to, and you'll eat less of it. Don't leave it on your kitchen counter.
And I think for me, the right way to make that kind of very personal decision, because those decisions are personal, they're not like data-driven business decisions. They are, what does your heart say? And for me, the best way to think about it was to project myself forward to age 80 and say, look, when I'm 80 years old, I want to have minimized the number of regrets that I have. I don't want to be 80 years old in a quiet moment of reflection, thinking back over my life and cataloging a bunch of major regrets. And I think that regrets, our biggest regrets in most cases, but in most cases, our biggest regrets turn out to be acts of omission. It's paths not taken, and they haunt us. I didn't do this, and so that's the frame of mind that I put myself in. And once I did that, once I thought about it that way, it was immediately obvious. I knew that when I'm 80, I would never regret trying this thing that I was super excited about and failing. If it failed, fine. I would be very proud of the fact when I'm 80 that I tried. And I also knew that it would always haunt me if I didn't try. And so that would be a regret. It would be a 100% chance of a regret if I didn't try, and basically a 0% chance of regret if I tried and failed. So I think that's a useful metric for any important life decision. My view is I don't even like the phrase work-life balance. I think it's misleading. I like the phrase work-life harmony, because I know that if I am energized at work, happy at work, feeling like I'm adding value, part of a team, whatever energizes you, that makes me better at home. It makes me a better husband, a better father, and likewise, if I'm happy at home, it makes me a better employee, a better boss, all the things. It's not primarily about, there may be crunch periods where it's about the number of hours in the week. That's not the real thing. Usually it's about, do you have energy? And is your work depriving you of energy, or is your work generating energy for you? If you start to think that way, it changes how you spend your time,
how you plan, where you put your energy, and your ability to look around corners gets better. So many things improve if you can take a long-term. And by the way, it's not natural for humans. It's a discipline that you have to build. The thing I worry about the most is that we would lose our way in one of those things, that we would lose our obsessive focus on customers, or would somehow become short-term oriented, or start to become overly cautious, kind of failure averse, and therefore unable to invent and pioneer. You cannot invent and pioneer if you cannot accept failure. To invent, you need to experiment. And if you know in advance that it's going to work, it is not an experiment. And so that's a very important thing. They are inseparable twins, failure and invention. And so you have to be willing to do that. And it's embarrassing to fail. It's always embarrassing to fail. But you have to say, no, that's not how this works. If there's a different kind of failure which is not what you want, that's where you have operating history and you do know what you're doing and you just screw it up. So that's not a good failure. That's not an experiment. That's just bad operational excellence.